All right, so we just pulled through the, pulled off of Mohawk Road onto the start of the easement road. And there's that herd of deer that's been watching us right there. About 8 or 10 deer. We've got looks like a couple bucks, a couple fawns, and then several, I guess they'd be does. They're headed east. They're right by the trail to State Line Cove, so they're gonna go check out the lake, I guess. So many deer out here, deer and turkey as well. We're parked right by the spotting tower on the north side, the Buffalo Spotting Tower. And we're gonna head south and go check out a property. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day out here. Now over to the right, you can see the neighbor's house. Neighbor on the north side of the peninsula. And he's got that gorgeous lake view off to the west. A little hard to see it from the road here, but there you can see Bull Shoals Lake there. Just stunning out here. So yeah, it's pretty normal to see quite a few deer on the drive in, especially if you come in the morning. We often see turkey as well, but it seems like just about every time if we're here in the morning, there's anywhere from 8 to 10 up to 30 or 40 deer in that northern meadow, and they usually head to the south, directly into the peninsula. Okay, so we just passed the old barn. And that's a pretty good landmark. We've come to the first Y in the road, and we're going to stay to the right. I'm just going to leave the camera running here, and we'll try to get a video of at least most of the way to the property. Looks like we had quite a bit of rain out here last night. Stay on this main road, which runs down kind of the west side. I just realized I left the big clump of keys in the ignition, so that's what that rattling sound is. I'll go ahead and see if I can get those out. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna try to do this one-handed. There we go. Okay. Onward and upward. Southward. And I would not be surprised at all if we saw some turkey out here or some more deer. Although since I'm driving pretty quickly, we're making quite a bit of noise. Really excited to get out here today because we're going to be taking a look at a property that we really haven't seen other than once or twice from the road. So this is exciting to get out here and really check it out and do a drone video and all that good stuff, and have a look at this one. All of these tracts out here are totally unique. I mean, they're all different. They all offer so much in the terms of views and building sites. So it's always exciting to see another one that we really haven't fully explored before. If you haven't heard us say it on the other videos, when you come out here, please be sure to get the MapRight app and let us know you're making the trip and that you have the app, and we can email you the link for the specific interactive map for this property. Lake view there. And it is by far the best way to make the drive out here to view the property, because it gets really confusing otherwise. Even with printed maps in hand, it's super easy to get turned around and kind of lose track of where you are. But if you have that MapRight app and have that loaded on your phone or your tablet, and we send you the link to the interactive map. I mean, mean, that is just a stellar way to view the property, because you'll have that interactive map on the screen of your phone or tablet, and there'll be a little colored dot that indicates right where you are, and it works off the GPS of your phone. So you're literally you're tracking yourself on the interactive map while you look at it on your phone. So it makes things super, super easy. So where we are now, if we were to keep going straight, we'd end up in about a half a mile or so at the sandy beach area, which is really cool. But we're actually going to go left onto this cut across road, and that's going to take us closer to the property. So again, this is an example of where the MapRight app is really handy, because the trail system really isn't marked. And even having been out here several times with a printed map in hand, it's easy to get turned around. But with that MapRight app, I mean, it's fantastic. So like we've mentioned before on all the other videos out here, I mean, you do want a truck or an SUV. These roads and trails are designed to be somewhat primitive. They are definitely not designed for, passenger cars. You want a truck or an SUV, even if it's only two-wheel drive, because then you have a little extra clearance. And if you hit a rough spot in the road, a couple extra inches of clearance can be a really good thing. We've kind of got the sun right in our face now as we head to the west. So I'm sure things are looking a little darker on the video than they are in real life. So I'll look at the map to make sure, but I do believe that this is going to be a tract with direct frontage on the take line at Bull Shoals. Okay, so we've come to a Y in the road, and I've got the MapRight map in hand, so I can tell that we need to go right at the Y. So here's an example of what we're talking about with the MapRight app. Whoops. This happens to be the master map that has all the tracks, and the blue dot is us. And I've just had this open. Oh no. Be careful not to zoom out too far. There we go. So we came in from the north side. This is where we saw the deer. There's the trail to State Line Cove. And we've gone south, and we've stayed on this we stayed on the main road system to here, and that's when we cut to the left, and that's where we find ourselves right now. So we've come to this Y in the road. We can see we need to take a right, stay to the right, and that's going to bring us much closer to the property. Feel free to skip toward the last few minutes of the video if you want to see us at the actual property. I know, especially if you've watched multiple videos, there may not be a reason to watch the entire drive-in if you don't want to, especially if the tracks are nearby each other, because the drive-in is going to be identical. There is a lot of good timber out here at Timber Shoals Ranch. We basically haven't seen any signs of logging, for decades, for many, many years out here, other than possibly some trees taken for firewood, but even that, not too much. I mean, there's a lot of big, old trees out here. To the last Y in the road here. And I know I've got service out here because I keep getting emails and text messages while I'm trying to do this video. So I might have to shut off notifications for a little bit. Okay. So now we've come to this, I guess you could call it the final Y in the road before we get to the property. Alright, so from where we are, I just looked at the MapRight map. We can go right or left. We're at the final kind of the final Y, we're gonna go left because we're headed to track 39. So we'll take a left here, and we actually don't have very far at all to go, and we'll be there. We've got just a little bit of sunshine, which is nice. The thing is, with all the mature timber out here on this section of the peninsula, there's such a canopy of leaves that it can be really tough, you know, unless it's a fully sunny day. Middle of the day when the sun is right overhead, that canopy shades quite a bit of the area, which can be nice, certainly. Okay, we just passed track 40, so yeah, we're close to track 39. In fact, the MapRight app is showing us that it begins right about here on the right. Oops. There we go. Big cedar tree. I see cedars and hardwoods. We'll pull up maybe roughly to the center, and then we'll take a walk on the property. Oh, there's the sign there. Track 39. This looks like a good place to pull off on track 39, in fact. And we'll just walk to the east. So track 39 is one of the special tracks that borders, let's see here. There we go. Here you can see it's a little blurry. Anyway, here's track 39. So here's the easement road. The entire east side actually borders the Corps of Engineer land, which is around Bull Shoals Lake. So you've got access directly from your property into the Corps land, so you can use that for hunting and for recreation, and for access to literally miles and miles and miles of shoreline. But the shoreline you'll be most interested in is the shoreline that's the closest to your property. So that's this little kind of double cove area right here, which is just east of the property. I don't think we'll walk all the way there, but we will take a look at the property, and then we'll do a drone video that'll kind of show you what's going on. Really special track. Let's have a look at it. Not too sure about my camera on my phone today. Well, let's see what we can see here. These limbs and small trees that you see by the side of the road out here, these aren't from logging or anything. This is just from the guys kind of cleaning and widening out the road system here. These roads have actually been in existence for, I don't know, maybe 100 years. But since this property was basically used as a buffalo ranch and a game ranch, no one really bothered to maintain the road system. So the guys kind of went through and did that. Wow, there's some big hardwood trees on this property. Right away, I see a big oak that is about 30-inch diameter. Wow. There's another one. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is a big oak tree. This appears to be level coming off the road. That's a huge oak tree. Jeez. Maybe a slight downward slope as we head to the east, but really not much. I actually don't have the topo map with me, so I can't tell you what the terrain does as we head all the way east to the lake, but I'm quite sure that it slopes down at some point. We got some more big hardwood trees. Wow. Good time in the video to mention that after the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to cut any and all of the timber, use it for firewood, use it for dimensional lumber, leave it alone, use it for a log cabin. I mean, look at all the straight hardwood trees. But that's after the property's been paid for in full. Meanwhile, while you're making payments on the property, you can't cut the timber, with the exception that if you're doing a driveway or a building site, we understand that oftentimes a few trees will have to be removed. So we just ask that you mark the trees with like the marking ribbon from Walmart or whatnot, and then we'll have someone come out and take a look, and if everything looks okay, then we can give you written permission to remove those trees even while you're making payments. Okay, I can see the truck back there. It's about 300 feet off. So we're pretty good ways into the property. I mean, this is private. When I say I can see the truck, what I should say is I can see a tiny bit of red paint. So this is, if you want a private building site, This looks pretty good. This is level. I mean, man, a lot of these tracks out here along this east side, they don't have level areas like this, so this is pretty nice. I actually don't have the MapRight app with me. I should have brought it. I left it in the truck on the iPad, so I don't know if we've meandered to the north or the south a little bit. But either way, as I look north and south, it's level both ways. So even if we've strayed a little bit, this should be a pretty good representation of the west part of the property. As I look toward the east, I mean, look a couple hundred feet. I don't know if I'm never sure what gets picked up in these videos, but it looks like the land does start to drop off. I would guess it's not steep, but it looks like it drops off, and I can see more cedar trees up there, which would be indicative of dropping off toward kind of a creek bed, seasonal creek bed type area. And that's what's going to bring you into that cove area. But this is really nice. This is actually a much bigger level area than I expected this deep into the property. There's another monstrous hardwood tree. Jeez. The wildlife out here is phenomenal. The privacy is excellent. Obviously, there's some good timber. Beautiful property. You're very close to the actual lake itself with direct core-line frontage, which is rare. I'm excited to head back to the truck and we'll do the drone video, and we'll put that in the listing as well. So definitely take a look at that to get a good look at this property from the air. But I'd say this is one of the kind of one of the top shelf ones out here. We've yet to see a bad property at Timber Shoals Ranch, but I mean, if you're looking for something with a level building site well off the road and still good access to the lake and the shore and the core land, I don't think we've seen one better than this. Nice and private too. So InstantAcres.com, we would love to hear from you about this property or any of our properties. Beautiful tract at Timber Shoals Ranch.